afternoon from beautiful San Jose, California. Appreciate you being with us for today's MLS Next Pro matchup between the San Jose Earthquakes 2 and Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. Beautiful evening here at PayPal Park, right around 67 degrees. Light 5-mile-per-hour breeze and sunny skies. Appreciate you being with us here on MLSnextPro.com. I'm Kylan Mills. We'll be on the call for you here today as we'll get ready to take a look at our starting lineups here momentarily. First, we got the home side. The San Jose Earthquakes really put together a strong season, and we do have the Western Conference standings here for you. Going to be a Western Conference clash in this one. Both Earthquakes 2 and Whitecaps FC 2 coming in off strong victories, 1-0 victories for both sides on Sunday. You see the Whitecaps at number 3, Earthquakes at number 7. This showing will certainly have some implications in how the standings shake out ahead of more action this weekend. And we'll get ready to get underway. Players warming up here at PayPal Park. Again, a beautiful evening. Emi Ochoa there in net, getting ready. He'll be between the pipes for the Earthquakes. Earthquakes coming into this one at 4-3-1 on the season. Whitecaps just earned a massive victory. This should be a fun one. MLS Next Pro, just such an awesome opportunity for players on both teams to continue to develop, hopefully catch the eye of the first team coaching staffs, and we've seen a couple players already move on. And here we do have the starting lineup for the home team. San Jose Earthquakes typically roll out a 4-3-3. It'll likely look a little bit more like that once they get into action. A player to watch, Jose David Serrano, played in his first match for the Quakes, had an assist last match. He's a player who can be deadly up top for the Quakes. Also, Cruz Medina earning the start. He came off the bench in the last matchup. He's a young player who signed a homegrown player contract in 2022. He's got a bright future ahead and could provide that spark in the midfield. Over for the Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2 side. You're looking at a 4-2-3-1 here. A couple of players to watch. Gondo in the midfield is a player who can really help facilitate. And then Cameron Habibullah had a massive goal in the team's 1-0 victory over Tacoma on Sunday. He scored an absolute banger from more than 20 yards out. Such an impressive strike, and in fact, he earned the MLS Next Pro goal of the match day for his efforts. He's a player who his coach identified has worked really hard on being a threat from all over the field. He can strike from distance, and he's a player who's been working really hard to be a threat in the attack. Should be a fun one here ahead at PayPal Park as we get ready for kickoff. The Earthquakes will be on the right side, or as you can see on the right side of your screen, in their dark kits. Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2 on the left side of your screen in the light kits. Our head referee here on today's match, Laura Rodriguez. Mark Novosel will be assisting. Conrado Garcia and Tuzran Admedir will also be on the call as well. Leading the Vancouver Whitecaps 2 side, head coach Ricardo Clark in his first season was named the Whitecaps FC 2 head coach after spending 2 seasons as a first-team assistant prior to his time in Vancouver. Worked as an interim head coach with the Dynamo's U19 Academy team. Also was a head coach of the U16s over there as well. On the other side for Quakes 2, head coach Dan DeGeer in his first full season, but he stepped in for Earthquakes 2 last season following Alex Cavello's jump to the first team in April of last year. During his time leading the Quakes last season, he helped the team to an 11-6-4 record at the helm. The team finished with the 6th best record of all 21 clubs who competed at the MLS Next Pro level last season. Fun part about this MLS Next Pro season is getting to see some of the best up-and-coming talent across not just the United States, but as we're looking here at Canada, so many exciting young players to watch in this one. And we are officially underway here in our Western Conference showdown at PayPal Park. Once again, appreciate you being with us here on MLSnextPro.com. First possession goes to the Whitecaps as they look to press forward. Now, this Whitecaps side has been deadly in the attack throughout the season. Whitecaps 2, going into yesterday's match day, was top 5 in MLS Next Pro in goals scored with 19 through 9 matches. They were also tied atop MLS Next Pro in assists with 15, also the lone leader in key passes with 99. Key passes being plays that could be assists if the goal was scored, or key passes in the attacking third if you want to look at it that way. Some possession here, working the ball around the back for Whitecaps 2. In net for Whitecaps 2, Max Anchor started 3 matches prior to today. We'll look to take a big boot upfield right now. 2 goals against average, made 10 saves going into today's match. He's a player who signed a homegrown contract back on May of 2022 at just 17 years old. Now, quite a bit in net this season for Whitecaps 2 has been Isaac Bomer. He's a player who Coach Clark told me has been a big leader for the defensive unit, specifically for the second team. So they'll be looking to Anchor to really step up and take control vocally on the defensive side. Working the ball outright once again. Thomas able to maintain possession for Whitecaps 2. This time ball swung out left, will go just out of bounds. Oscar Verhoeven there on the right side for the Earthquakes. One of the recent homegrowns who signed a contract back on May 16th. A player the Quakes organization is super high on. He actually turned 17 years old coming up on May 31st. So once again, just a lot of young talent on display here tonight. Verhoeven has really stepped up though and slid into the outside back role really nicely for this Quakes 2 side. And speaking of, we'll get the throw in for Quakes 2 as they try to get some possession. Work it around the midfield. Dispossessed there up top. Whitecaps now look to transition, counterattack quickly. Holding there is Gondo. Gondo's a player you'll want to watch out for in the midfield. Really helps facilitate for this team, as you just saw him there bringing the ball up on that counterattack. However, Vancouver opts to slow it down. One touch ball forward, edge of the 18. Laid off, and a strike just over the net by Wathuda. First chance for Whitecaps 2, as I mentioned, a team that typically generates a lot of offense. A little flick there to Wathuda. Good little one touch, nice layoff. Then Wathuda just unfortunately brought that toe up, got a little bit underneath the ball and sailed that one over. A little bit of an ambitious shot, but he did have a clear look there from just outside the 18. And heck, why not take a chance from that distance? Once again, Cameron Habibullah had an absolute banger from nearly 25 yards out in the Whitecaps' last match. That was on Sunday. Now San Jose has a chance to create, dispossessed here in the midfield. Once again, possible counterattack opportunity. Some battling in the midfield. Foul is called. It will be a free kick for the Earthquakes 2. Out here on the ball for Quakes 2, it's Cruz Medina, a player who I mentioned in the open as someone the Earthquakes organization is super excited about watching develop. He's played quite a bit for the U.S. U17 national team. Won the Golden Ball also at the MLS Next Cup in 2021. And there he goes trying to make a run on the left side. That'll go out of bounds for a Quakes throw-in. With Quakes here in the attacking third, trying to create. Dispossessed there, well defended by the Whitecaps. Once again, counterattack opportunity with Wathuda. Holds on to it. Will swing it left. Plenty of space there on the left side. Ball chipped forward. Earthquakes still trying to work it out of their defensive third. Dispossessed here. Quakes will opt to slow down, try to possess. Earthquakes now comfortably in possession. They'll swing it around the back. Now the Earthquakes are a team that on the flip side have been really strong defensively. As I mentioned, Vancouver, a team that's among the tops in the league in goals scored. So this will be interesting to see how this matchup plays out. Defensively, the Earthquakes have only given up 5 goals through 8 matches, which is the second least in MLS Next Pro. Now in goal tonight for Quakes 2 is Emi Ochoa. Getting a lot of starts also at keeper has been Eric De La Cerda, who's top 4 in the league in clean sheets with 3. Those two keepers have combined for some really strong results defensively for Quakes 2. Possessing here in the midfield, that's Jerry Ione, a huge piece of this Earthquakes team. A player who has been described as the de facto leader of this group for several years. Counterattack opportunity here with Thuda out with space, cutting middle. Well defended there by the Quakes. That defense just collapsed, and there you can see why. They are so tough to score on. Ball goes out of bounds. Earthquakes throw in once again. Well defended by San Jose. Now for the Earthquakes, the challenge here is trying to put more balls in the back of the net. While they've only given up 5 in 8 matches, they've only scored 8, which is among the bottom 5 in the league, and that's something they certainly would look to build on. However, when you have such a potent defense that's able to stop shots, you can still win games with low-scoring affairs. So it'll be interesting to see with the typical goal-scoring prowess of this Whitecaps 2 side, how that will shake out here today. Ball out of bounds. Earthquakes get the throw. Now, as I was also mentioning in the open, really cool to see some of these players getting the attention, getting calls up for their first teams. Tonight, the Vancouver Whitecaps without Levante Johnson, who's been a key piece of the group. Slide tackle missed. Gondo swings the ball in the box, headed away by Verhoeven. Ball slowly rolling towards the touchline. Great hustle there by the Quakes to keep that one in play. Now, can they work it out the back? Good movement in tight spaces. Earthquakes looking to create on the left. Medina trying to run that one down, but it's booted out of bounds. Quakes 2 will get the throw. As I was saying, in terms of first team call-ups, really cool to see. Levante Johnson, who had previously started 8 matches, all 8 matches that he played in for this Whitecaps 2 side, did just get a short-term MLS contract. He joined the first team for their match last night in the Canadian Championship, and he also will be under contract for their match on Saturday against St. Louis City FC. That's his 3rd short-term contract or call-up to the first team this season. You can max out at 4, but certainly something that makes this group proud, something that Coach Clark prides himself on, is developing these players to try to get them ready for the next level. Here's Medina. Ball chipped to the left side. Tingy tries to head it across. That one's out of bounds over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for the Whitecaps 2. As I mentioned, Levante Johnson gotten a couple of short-term MLS agreements, played in the Canadian Championship quarterfinal round, and he was a 2023 Super Draft selection by the Whitecaps 2, 29th overall. So they're without him tonight. He's been a big part of this team, but certainly depth is something that's key in the MLS Next Pro League. Week in, week out, there is some changeover as players get called up. San Jose now looking to work out the back here, and that's something that is also a marquee of the first team under head coach Luchi Gonzalez. The Earthquakes this season have been really working on possessing out the back, building out the back, working well in tight spaces, and not just sending the ball upfield. And that's something that Coach DeGeer said they do want to emulate on this second team. They want to help prepare players when they do get that first team call up to play in that system. So you'll see a lot of similarities in Quakes 2 to the first team if you've watched any of the Earthquakes action this season. Here's Verhoeven. Nice little piece of skill work there. You can tell really just a technically sound player who stepped up and slid in perfectly at the outside back position. Speaking of working well in tight spaces, some nice little one-touch passes. Here comes Ione. Medina will switch it left. Carvajal was there on the left side. Foul is called. Little bit of over the back contact there. Whitecaps 2 will play it in here quickly. Little bit of ball winning there in the midfield. Now here they come on the counterattack. Some space out on the left flank. Whitecaps 2 getting to the end line. Crosses over. No one able to get there, though. It'll go out of bounds. This Whitecaps 2 team really can be deadly in that counterattack position. They do look for opportunities when they dispossess to break lines quickly, get forward quickly, get numbers in and around the box quickly. So that's something the Earthquakes are going to have to be super aware of throughout this match. As soon as you lose the ball, you've got to get numbers behind the ball, organize, communicate quickly, and to try to regain that defensive shape as soon as you lose the ball, especially if you're stretched at the time and a little bit out of position. Good switch here. Earthquakes looking to create on the left. You'll see Tingy gating forward there from that left back position, but it will just go over the end line. Well defended and well shielded there by Simone Masse, one of the key defensive pieces for Whitecaps 2. Masse is a player who was on the team last season and really was a staple of this group. Started in 17 matches, played in 19, returned for more Whitecaps 2 and MLS Next Pro action this season. He's a player who Coach Clark described as being one of the leaders of this group, a player that some of the younger guys look up to and who really sets the tone in terms of leadership, work ethic, and how things are done at this level. Good one-touch passing here. Nice ball movement by the Quakes. Tingy once again getting up into the attack. Nice little ball slotted through. Tingy trying to run this one down. Quakes still working it here on the left flank. Medina. Back to Tingy. Play it back one more. Earthquakes maintain possession. Mendoza with the ball here. Well worked by the Quakes. Couple of one-touch passes. Ball swung into the box. Deflected. Straight up almost. Still in play. That one will be headed and roll out of bounds. Earthquakes throw in. Quakes opt to play it back and possess, as I mentioned, something that is a marquee of this team. Big ball played forward. Whitecaps 2 calling for the offsides, and the whistle does blow, so that will be a kick going the other direction. Now you notice on that last possession for the Earthquakes, Tingy really getting up there in the attack, and that's something you'll notice both on the first and second teams for San Jose. Their outside backs really have the green light typically to get forward, to get involved in the attack. It's something you'll see on the first team, and Tingy is a player who can and will get involved, swing some balls in the box. So just because you're playing that outside back position doesn't mean you won't be involved in the attack. They certainly like to take advantage of those flanks. Throwing here just around midfield for Whitecaps 2. Good shield, whistle will blow. A little bit overplayed there by Verhoeven. So it will be a free kick for Whitecaps 2. Aguilar standing over this one. He's another player who Coach Clark identified as being a really key piece for this Whitecaps 2 team. Started 8 of 9 matches he played in coming into today. Nice piece of defending there by Verhoeven. Just send it up. Vancouver with a chance. Working the ball in the final third. Mathuda will hold on to it. Plays it back. Back to Thomas, who will swing it all the way back. Will now look to switch fields, maybe try going the other way. And another reset here for Whitecaps 2. Good patience here from Vancouver. Broadcasters jinx, dispossessed here by San Jose. Now can they create a counterattack? David Serrano opts to hold and will play it back. Ball swung wide to Tingy. Tingy cutting it back. Quakes trying to maintain possession. Now this portion of the match is brought to you by Intermedia, official cloud communications provider and jersey partner of the San Jose Earthquakes. Earthquakes holding on to possession here out of the back. Emi Ochoa getting some touches at his feet there at the edge of the 18. Cam Seeley now on the ball. Both Tingy and Seeley, 2 players out of Stanford, and 2 players who came in with a little bit of chemistry, according to Coach DeGear, since they did play together in college. And they also both signed homegrown contracts in January of this year. So very fitting. They also have a tie even further back than that. Both Tingy and Seeley here on the left side of the Quakes 2 defense played at De La Salle High School, which is here in the East Bay. Ball played well out of bounds. Quakes 2 will get the throw. And Tingy and Seeley both are players who Coach DeGear said brought in just that relentless mentality from their time at Stanford. The Stanford men's team just really strong, both the men's and women's, but 2020 Pac-12 champions, 3rd in the country in 2019, one of the top collegiate programs in the country in the NCAA, without a doubt. So they're 2 players, both Tingy and Seeley, who played quite a bit in their careers at Stanford, both 60-plus games started during their time on the farm. So it's important to have some of those players that are a little bit older, now older in the scale of MLS Next Pro, early 20s versus, you know, some of the teenagers that you see coming in and competing, but that do have that level of experience, a little bit more maturity, experience playing at a high level, and the leadership piece is what Coach DeGear said is so crucial, coming from some of his players from Stanford. Also at times, Hosseini Buddha will get some action in. He's with the first team right now, but he's played in a couple games for Quakes 2. He's another Stanford product, so quite a few in addition to Will Richmond, another Stanford product, who do play at times with this Quakes 2 side. Verhoeven here on the right. Nice pass played in. Can the Quakes keep it alive? Defended out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for Earthquakes 2. Big chance here for the Quakes to swing one in. And this was a really nice, cheeky ball played forward by Verhoeven. He weighted it well, so it was just able to be run down and kept in play. Good vision there from the outside back. Earthquakes getting ready to swing in the corner. It's an in-swinger towards the back post, lofted high. Couple players jockeying for it, and that'll go out of bounds. Last touch by the Earthquakes, so it's a goal kick for Whitecaps 2. As I mentioned, Max Anchor in goal. His 4th start on the season for Whitecaps 2. Now, as I mentioned, Isaac Boehmer, a player who's gotten quite a bit of time between the pipes for Whitecaps 2, but Anchor is a player who has gotten some high-level experience He was signed to a homegrown contract in May of 2022 at 17 years old. The day after he signed that contract, he made his first team debut versus Charlotte. So talk about really just elevating and rising quickly. He's already made his first team debut at a very, very young age. Once again, 17 years old, so he's a player who still brings in a high level of experience. He joined the Whitecaps Academy at just 13 years old back in 2017. He also has been called up to the Canadian U15 and U20 national teams. So this is a player in net who has a ton of experience even at his young age. Now the Earthquakes swinging it around the back, looking to possess to try to get Whitecaps 2 a little bit out of shape. And you'll see Whitecaps 2 holding their line pretty high right now. If you look at all the players here around the edge of the 18, not allowing the Earthquakes to easily possess out the back. That's something you expect to see throughout this match. This Whitecaps 2 team wants to apply pressure, make teams uncomfortable in their defense. Ball will be a throw in here for Quakes 2. Quakes working it around. Kept in play. Swung across the pitch, but touched the other way by Whitecaps 2. That one will be slid and sent out of bounds and out of pressure. It was Edwin Mendoza, another one of the recent homegrown signees. Or rather, Mendoza signed the MLS Next Pro contract for the 2023 season. And then he will be on a homegrown contract January 1st, 2024. But yes, he is one of the recent signees alongside Oscar Verhoeven. Also not featured in this match, but one of the 3 signees announced at the same time just a couple weeks ago was Chance Cowell, the younger brother of Cade Cowell, who may be a familiar name as he plays for the Earthquakes first team and also right now is playing with the U.S. Under-20 national team in the Under-20 World Cup down in Argentina. In fact, he scored a goal in the team's last match against Fiji. Chance Cowell not among the starting lineup here today, but a player who will likely see some MLS Next Pro action very, very soon. Whitecaps 2 swinging the ball around here. And you see the Earthquakes also trying to apply some pressure up top, looking to force Whitecaps 2 into a tough situation, maybe get them in a corner to try to dispossess. Nice turn there by Aguilar. Really, you could see just incredible composure on the ball from him. Nice ball slotted forward. Back across to the middle. Nice cut. Abibula, that player who likes to strike from distance too, but he's smothered. Well defended there by Quakes 2. Abibula trying to play that quick little one-touch pass. Still a little bit of a scuffle for possession. Whitecaps 2 comes up with it. Good tackle there. Hard tackle by Seeley. Quakes 2 throw in here at the very, very deep end of their defensive third. Very, very low block that they're in at the moment. Now Quakes 2 coming off that 1-0 win over Austin FC 2 over the weekend, trying to build that momentum, feeling pretty good. DeGear says this team is continuing to make a lot of strides. He was really proud of his team's performance in that matchup, said the guys showed tremendous grit. That was his exact quote to me, grit being a super, super big thing for this Earthquake side. Whitecaps 2 now with possession. Trying to create here on the near side of your screen. They'll send it all the way back. And one thing DeGear said about the Quakes 2 performance against Austin FC, he said it was a really difficult opponent because they were playing a team that was just a little bit older, bigger, and very, very physical. He said he felt like that matchup would help prepare his team for this matchup against Whitecaps 2, which Coach DeGear described as being another team that's a little bit older, very physical, very experienced, and just a top-notch program. top-notch club, I should say, but he feels like that Austin F2 battle would help prepare his team for this battle against Whitecaps 2. Coach DeGear was also really proud of the way his team defended throughout that match against Austin FC2. He said defensively, they were really quick to reorganize when they were dispossessed. They held off pressure and didn't allow that Austin FC2 side to break lines easily. That's something that his team is looking to recreate in this matchup against this Vancouver side. Whitecaps 2 now with a throw in here on the far side as we approach the 26th minute here in our first half of action of MLS Next Pro play. Once again, appreciate you being here with us on MLSNextPro.com. And whistle blown, there is a foul here just at the edge of the attacking third for the Earthquakes. So once again, another big opportunity with a set piece here for Quakes 2. So big chance here for Earthquakes 2. When you do have a tightly contested game like this, you always want to take advantage of set piece opportunities. This Earthquakes 2 team, a team that can win balls out of the air. Certainly this isn't a bad location where you could swing across in and try to get someone to get on the head of it or head it back into the mix potentially. Lined up over there, Medina near the ball, but it's going to be struck on goal, well over, no problem there for Whitecaps 2. The set piece sails over the top of the bar. So here you see that left-footed strike, just caught the inside of the foot, got a little bit underneath it. That one just went over the bar, and as I mentioned, you just have to take advantage of these set pieces, try to keep it in play. That's a tough angle to take a shot on goal from. You're far out and you're not centrally in the pitch, so it's just a really tough spot to try to strike that one on goal because of the angle and the distance. That combination, not an easy one to put on goal. I would have liked to see that one swung into the box, just put in the mix, see what you can do potentially on a header, a rebound, or try to create some chaos in and around the six. Now this portion of the match is brought to you by Stanford Medicine, the official team doctors of the San Jose Earthquakes. 28 minutes of action in the books here at PayPal Park on this beautiful Thursday evening. Appreciate you being with us. Still scoreless at this point. Earthquakes 2 just had that set piece sailed over. Now here they come down the left flank. Tingy with the ball, cuts middle. Little touch back. Quakes 2 trying to work it around. Medina tries to run that one down from Carbajal. And it just rolls out of bounds. Throw in here deep on the field for Whitecaps 2. Earthquakes 2 really pretty high up the pitch here, looking to get in the passing lanes, dispossess Whitecaps 2 in a difficult area of the field. They do exactly that. Ball touch forward. Cleared away, though, by Vancouver. Counterattack opportunity here. Whitecaps 2 still with some numbers up. Quakes do get behind the ball. Well done. They're back in shape. Ball played forward. Greco Taylor swings one in the box. Cleared away by Quakes 2. Nice touch there. Medina now with some space. Medina sends it over to the left side. Well defended by Whitecaps 2. Still in play though. Couple little one-touch passes. Tingy with a look. Tingy deflected. Quakes 2 maintains possession. They'll reset back to Verhoeven. Ball played just out wide to that right flank. Mendoza. Ball chipped forward, just a little bit too much weight on that one. It'll go over the end line, out of bounds. Goal kick here for Whitecaps 2. Now through these first 30, approaching 31 minutes of action, San Jose Earthquakes really with a better run of possession, especially as this half has gone on. Quakes 2 doing a good job of keeping the ball. They've just got to try to get it into that dangerous enough space to create a shot. They have been possessing. Now can they create in the final third that opening that will get them a goal? This Whitecaps 2 team also has possessed, but they really look the most dangerous in transition. When they dispossess the Earthquakes, you can see the speed and the directness that they look to play forward to break lines when they see opportunities and numerical advantages. You can certainly see how this Whitecaps 2 team has put so many goals on the board. And they also look to possess out the back here. Big ball played forward. Earthquakes 2 handle it. Seeley. Quakes back on the ball. The back line swinging it around now here. Ochoa well outside the 18, getting his touch on it. Ochoa, player out of Salinas, California, just down the road from the Bay Area, signed a homegrown contract in 2019 at just 14 years old. He was the second youngest player ever at the time. The youngest was Freddie Adu. Ochoa has also spent quite a bit of time with the first team this season as they've dealt with a little bit of injuries with Danielle, one of their newly signed goalkeepers on the first team. Here comes Quakes 2. Whistle blown, that will be a free kick. Earthquakes with the kick, and a yellow card is delivered. So this foul just outside the 18 on the far side of the pitch will result in a yellow. You can see goes down, tripped there, yeah. Laura Rodriguez, our head referee, determined that was enough to deliver the yellow. So Earthquakes 2 now with another set piece. So Mateo Campana will be the player who earned the booking for Whitecaps 2. He's a player starting his 6th match of the season for Whitecaps 2. Signed a homegrown contract in April of 2021 at 16 years old. That trip earned him the booking. Now here, another big opportunity for Quakes 2 on a set piece. Once again, a little bit of a tough angle because you're just farther outside the post, not really centrally located on the pitch. That's tougher to hit from this angle. Also, you're looking at close to 25 yards out, so certainly a tough ball to strike. Once again, Quakes opt to go on goal. It's saved straight into the hands of Anchor. So that's 2 now for the Earthquakes, where they've taken a pretty far out set piece on net. That one straight into Anchor's hands, no problem. That's a tough area of the field to strike a good strike on goal, because you're just close to that corner of the box. The keeper's going to have that near post, central post really covered, and from a distance, you're gonna have to really, really strike it well and perfectly place it for the keeper to not have time to react. Earthquakes will maintain possession though. Once again, 35th minute, still scoreless here at PayPal Park. Big ball played forward. Tingy trying to run it down. Manages to keep it in play. A tough challenge down there just by the end line. It will be a whistle going the other way. Whitecaps 2 ball. Now, Whitecaps 2 also earned a big victory in their last matchup. Win over the Tacoma Defiance on their home field. Mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Cameron Habibullah scored the lone goal in the 57th minute. It was a counterattack situation where he took advantage with an absolute banger from more than 20 yards out. That goal was selected goal of match day 9 in MLS Next Pro. And taking advantage of transition opportunities is something that head coach Ricardo Clark said is super important for this Whitecaps 2 side. Yes, they want to possess, they want to try to create opening spaces on the field, draw the other team out to create opportunities that way, but he also wants his team to work on looking to take advantage in transition when you do get numbers up, to be direct, be aggressive, go at the goal, and take a chance, exactly like Habibullah did. He felt like in that matchup, his team created a lot of chances off attacking transition. Coach Clark also was really happy with the way his team made runs off the ball. A lot of movement up top. He said good decision-making was a combination that worked for them to get that 1-0 win. And here come Whitecaps 2. Shot blocked. Ball still in play. Verhoeven manages to get a little touch. Earthquakes 2 still battling. Good one touch there. Now Quakes 2. The potential for a transition. Hard play right around the center of the pitch. Whistle will blow. That's going to be a foul on Whitecaps 2. Earthquakes free kick right around the center circle. That was Jerry Ione on the ball for Quakes 2. Ione is the player who his coach Dan DeGeer described as the heart and soul of the Earthquakes 2 team. He signed an MLS Next Pro contract, 21 years old, and was a key piece of the team last season, played 19 games, had a goal and an assist. Also played for the Quakes Academy in his younger days and has represented the U.S., the U16 and U18 levels. So a player who brings in a lot of experience and also has played quite a bit within the Earthquakes organization. Ione also was a team captain of this Quakes 2 side. Little bit of a misplay here by Whitecaps 2 in their defensive third while trying to possess. Whistle blows. Earthquakes now will get the ball. Kick over here on the left side, Cam Seeley on it. Earthquakes once again working it around the back. Here you can see some pressure from Whitecaps 2. Headed away. Ione. The ball played forward. Strike. Way off target by Tingy. No problem there for Whitecaps 2, but he did have a clean look on goal there from outside the 18. He saw the chance and he took it. Just needs to clean up and tighten up the strike there. Goal kick now here for Whitecaps 2. Vancouver just a little bit stagnant in their possession. They're struggling to get it up the field. You see them possessing here in their defensive third, but they've been struggling to break lines to get forward. Here you see the Earthquakes doing a good job of applying that pressure, getting into passing lanes, and then dispossessing as they have right there. Hard challenge in the middle of the pitch. Whistle blows. That's going to be a foul. Referee Rodriguez having a quick conversation here with Whitecaps 2. Couple of tough challenges here in the first half of this match. You see the challenge, just the play is on the body, no touch at the ball. That was Aguilar in the midfield for Whitecaps 2, who just had a little bit of body contact to send the Quakes to the ground. Attempt blocked. Earthquakes still in the attacking third, trying to create. Whitecaps 2 now able to possess. But here's the example perfectly of what I was saying. They're just struggling to break lines, to connect. Once you get possession, you can't just work it side to side amongst your back line. You've got to figure out a way to work the ball forward, play it positively, break lines into your midfield, into the attacking third. Earthquakes 2 is doing a really good job of just getting in passing lanes, applying a lot of pressure up top. They're holding their line high enough that it's not easy for this Vancouver Whitecaps 2 side to work it out the back. Pretty ball played forward, onside, but then we do have the whistle blown. And that one will go back to where that call was made. The offsides call, just up the pitch. This portion of the match is brought to you by Roku, the official partner of the San Jose Earthquakes. Not too much time left here in the first half. We remain scoreless at PayPal Park. Earthquakes 2 and Whitecaps FC 2 going toe-to-toe. A hard-fought battle here through the first 41. Whitecaps 2 in possession, some better ball movement there, but once again, it's that positive ball that's failing them. Dispossessed there by Quakes 2. Seeley plays it back to Ochoa. And here you see they're dropping a little bit off, not holding the line quite as high. Whitecaps 2, Quakes 2 with a little bit of time to work the ball around the back. Whitecaps 2 looking to find the moments, the appropriate moments to get forward and try to pressure. You see them here getting a little bit higher up the field, holding their line a little higher, not sitting as much. Opportunity here for Quakes 2. Shot on goal, little flick into the hands of Anchor. Unfortunately, not a lot on that shot to give Anchor any problems. It's a nice ball played forward. Seeley getting up into the attack, plays it wide. And Carbajal, unfortunately, just didn't get a lot on that shot. Got to try to really strike through that in that position. I don't know if he was maybe trying to think about crossing it because it looked like it was a little chip. Big ball played forward. Well defended, well shielded there. Nicely executed by Vancouver. Simone Massi there in the back line, shielded that one well to earn the goal kick for his team. Massi, a player who signed an MLS Next Pro contract with the Caps back in 2022, as I mentioned, played in 19 games, 17 starts. He's a player who also has competed at the collegiate level in Canada, played one season with Simon Fraser University, was named an All-Conference and All-West region selection. Also played for the Whitecaps Academy in his prior days. Quakes 2 once again dispossesses. Can they create something in their attacking third? Pretty little flick, some nice ball movement. Outside to Carbajal. Carbajal working. Run made forward by Tingy, trying to create the overlap. He will hit it over the end line, but that is a corner kick for San Jose. San Jose created a couple corner kicks, a couple of set pieces, free kicks here throughout this first half. Can they capitalize? Quakes 2, arm up. Medina plays the ball in, punched away by Anchor. Quakes maintain possession. Can they reload? Ball back out. Medina. Pretty ball played in. Quakes trying to create. Medina hit off his arm there. Whistle blows. That'll be a handball going the other way for Whitecaps 2. It was almost a major chance to break free for the Earthquakes. Unfortunately, just an unlucky bounce as it bounced up and hit off the hand of Cruz Medina, making that run there on the left side of the box. But the Earthquakes 2 team really threatening here in this first half, and especially as the half has gone on. Fortunately, that corner kick just curled a little too far in, and Anchor was able to punch it away. Unfortunately for the Quakes, that is. Ball played back and a big ball played forward off the foot of Anchor. This is a team that's dangerous in the counterattack. Vancouver looking to create. Ball last touch by the Quakes. It'll be a throw in here for Whitecaps 2. Last piece of defending here just before the halftime break for Quakes 2. Can Vancouver create something in the final moments? And there is the whistle, the first half in the books in today's MLS Next Pro match. A hard-fought first half between the San Jose Earthquakes 2 and Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. Your score at halftime, 0-0 from PayPal Park here in San Jose, California. We will have highlights and stats from our first half coming up, but let's take a look back at the historic night in Huntsville, Alabama. Last Friday, Huntsville City FC debuted a renovated stadium in their inaugural home match, and the dignitaries, along with a sellout crowd, were on hand to witness. Michelle Montaigne was there, and she brings us more.
We have history in Huntsville. Huntsville City FC with their first win in league history coming in their home opener at Wicks Family Field at Joe Davis Stadium. The fans were treated to a spectacle. They arrived early and earned their first win in club history.
This is slipped ahead, opening opportunity, and there it is! Jacob Williams scores for Crown Legacy. Back in for Leal, who cuts it back. It's Bolaños! Bolaños! Jonathan Bolaños, the first goal in Huntsville, Alabama. It's 1-1. Now Ollie Wright, long on the top. Hassan Leone's in. Can he put Huntsville ahead? Leone scores! Huntsville City take the lead. From front to back, it's 2-1. That's it and that's all. Huntsville City in the win column. Their first ever win in their first ever home game.
The league's leaders were all here in Huntsville to witness one of the proudest moments in MLS Next Pro's young history.
You know, what we're calling the Huntsville model is going to be really important for us, and we have several teams that are looking at opportunities like this around the country. These fans now, you know, they're going to have their own hometown team. There's going to be synergies between what's happening here in Huntsville and in Nashville, obviously.
The rest of MLS is looking at this model, and I've had CEOs and presidents of other teams call me and say, you know, keep us posted, and we couldn't be happier with day one.
It's a beautiful stadium. There's a lot of fans. It's what every player loves. It's what you want. All the pressure, all the competition. So this is just an exceptional environment for players to grow, develop, and be the best versions of themselves.
To walk out, see the colours, hear the noise, and I think it really drove the boys on. You could feel the energy coming in, and we're thinking we're going to get off to a fast start, and when you go 1-0 down, 4 minutes on the clock, you're thinking, ooh, could be a long night. But I mean, the boys showed great character. The fans stuck with us throughout, and they got their rewards in the end.
Huntsville City with a 2-1 win over the top team in the East, Crown Legacy FC. It was a magical night here in Huntsville. I'm Michelle Montaigne with MLS Next Pro. We'll see you next time.
What a cool atmosphere out there in Huntsville. Very cool to see MLS Next Pro continue to grow. In the Western Conference, Justin Galanti saw Philadelphia take on New England Sunday afternoon, and John Gross takes us through North Texas versus Houston in the nightcap.
It is Bayraktarovic, deflected and in! Bulma, a bit sloppy on his touch. This one sent forward, it's Donovan once again. Donovan scores! Just past the midway point here in the first half. Donovan again with some space, puts it into the middle. Free man on the back post! Bit strong on the first touch, a little too heavy, couldn't control it. Raffanello, oh, what a touch! And Donovan has made it 3-1 Philly. Bayraktarovic with a goal today. Esmir Bayraktarovic having one, he scores! Marcos Diaz flips it towards the middle. Rivera for Bayraktarovic, it's 3! And New England has come all the way back.
St. T rips it on frame and finds the back of the net. As Gonzalez tees one from distance. What a goal! Rios, central feed. There is space for Reed, and he's done it. The Arlington native in his home city. It's saved. Andrew Pannenberg. The Academy product, Juarez, can win it. And he does!
And what a weekend it was. We'll take a look at some more of the scores from match day 9. It was an exciting weekend to say the least. MLS Next Pro had a total of 36 goals alongside 26 assists. Scored in 13 games. It was absolutely insane. Now there's only one team unbeaten remaining in the league, Colorado Rapids 2. They've really been outstanding. As I mentioned, the two teams here in action tonight, Quakes 2 and Whitecaps 2, both earned 1-0 victories in that matchup. So just another busy weekend in MLS Next Pro play, and I expect this weekend to be nothing short of exciting as well. Well, before we end May, we want to spend some time with the MLS Next Pro April Coach of the Month, Eric Boucher of Colorado. Samara Perez had a chance to catch up with the Western leading Rapids 2 manager.
Hi there, we are back with a new edition of MLS Next Pro's Coach's Corner. I am Samara Perez. Joining us from Colorado Rapids 2 is our first recipient of Coach of the Month in 2023, Head Coach Eric Boucher. Coach, welcome and thank you so much for making time for us today.
Happy to be here.
You found a way, okay? And that's what winners do. Build the culture. Keep building the culture of winning. Keep believing. Keep, for God's sakes, expecting. And great things can happen. I am proud of you. Well done tonight.
Coach, we first want to congratulate you on receiving this recognition as April's Coach of the Month. How do you feel to receive this accolade?
Well, I think it's always nice to be recognized. I think for me, I've tried to take it in that if it's bringing positive attention to the club and to our program specifically, that it's a good thing. So the guys have certainly put us in a position for some of the individuals to get the recognition, and so for that, we're humbled, but certainly very pleased.
Coach, and you speak about some of the guys that have helped, and we just spoke to Yosuke. What can you tell us about his performance and his character on and off the pitch?
Yeah, he's an impressive young man. I think he is, we talk a lot about players' ability to make an impact and then making an impact consistently. And Yosuke is a player who could do that. The character with which he plays, the work, the blue-collar component he brings on a daily basis, training, games, is impressive. It's a part of who he is. His character runs very deep. He's a good person off the field. He's a good teammate in every aspect. And this year, more so than last year even, he's put points on the board. So now it's not just a coach saying, or even a teammate saying how well Yosuke is doing or how well he's working. He's getting rewarded through goals and assists, and now he's gaining accolades as a result of that. And he's deserving of it. And he was likely deserving of it last year as well, but he has a little bit more backing this year because of what he's done and what the team has been able to help him accomplish.
Coach, you guys have had an amazing run so far, and you have completely turned things around from compared to last season's first month. To what do you attribute your team's remarkable start this season?
Yeah, the players had a very positive preseason. There's been a lot of work put in. We were able to gain some success during our preseason period, both in terms of how we performed, but also in terms of results. So I think that was really positive for the guys, and then, yeah, I'd like to say it's all training and it's all hard work, but really we had a couple wonderful results early in the year, some late comebacks, injury time goals, and those things help promote belief. And belief, I think, is a very powerful tool. And right now, I think it's, you say a couple things there. It's a positive run, and it is a start, and it's no more than that. But we're trying to build on that run and build on that positive start. And the guys believe they can do that. So where there's confidence, belief can grow. And right now we have both. And both are a byproduct, though, of the work that the players are putting in on a consistent basis. And so for that, I'm really proud. We're also able to bring back a core group to bring the experiences, albeit some of them very difficult from last year. And then we have a couple new personalities and characters in the group that have added experience and talent. So those things you put together, that helps us be where we're at today.
Coach, one more before we let you go. What are the aspirations for you and your team in this season of MLS Next Pro?
Well, to keep going, first and foremost. And we talked about it this morning in our pre-training meeting. There's motivation has to last not for the first 7 or 8 games, but for 28 games, and if we're fortunate enough, 28 plus a few more. Then ultimately, we look at helping individuals achieve their goals, and that is the priority. And I think one reason we've been able to garner some success this season is because we've brought in a group of individuals who have shared belief and power in the element of being a team. But until the team helps the individuals get to where they want to go, we really haven't achieved the purpose of our program. And it's because of that I'm confident that our motivation will remain high. It needs to remain high to win in what I think is a very difficult league. So ultimately it's about progressing individuals, and I think if we can do that both in the near term and long term, then we'll have done something special.
Coach, well, we wish you and the team much success for the rest of the season, and congratulations once again on your recognition.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, and thank you everyone for tuning in to this feature and this edition of Coach's Corner. I'm Samara Perez.
Alrighty, second half action here between Earthquakes 2 and Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2 just about to get underway. Let's take a look back first at what was a pretty exciting first half. There was quite a bit of hard-fought battles in the midfield, that's for sure. The San Jose Earthquakes had a little bit better run throughout the half. However, Vancouver created early. This was probably their best chance of the day. It was a shot sent well over by Wathuda, but he did have a clean look from outside the 18. More action early in the half. This Vancouver team super dangerous in the counterattack. Here they had some space on the left flank, trying to get that cross off. Unfortunately, wasn't quite delivered well enough for someone to connect. However, as the half went on, the Earthquakes really started to create, get comfortable in possession. And unfortunately, that one was just called offsides. But they're knocking on the door as the half went on. Here, a pretty ball played by Oscar Verhoeven. Just really well weighted, able to keep it in play just before the touchline. Unfortunately, no one able to connect on the cross. Here's one of two set pieces the Earthquakes had. They had two that were right around that same area of the pitch. Another great chance here. Keegan Tingey on the ball. That shot, though, just into the hands of Max Anchor between the pipes for Vancouver. A corner, also another great chance for the Earthquakes. That one batted away by Anchor, so he certainly had his fair share of action here in the first half. The Earthquakes dominated possession. As I mentioned, they really got into a rhythm as the half went on. They also had the edge in total shots and shots on target. Passing accuracy went to the Quakes as well. Really, they did a good job of possessing, drawing Whitecaps FC2 a little bit out of shape, taking advantage of the space they had to try to create inside. Now it's going to be a matter of who can execute in the final third, who can create a better opportunity in the final third. And here we go as we are getting ready to kick off second half action. 45 more to come here from PayPal Park. Appreciate you being with us here on MLSNextPro.com. Kylan Mills here on the call with you as we are officially underway in the second half. As I mentioned, it was Whitecaps 2 early in the first, but then the San Jose Earthquakes 2 really settled into a rhythm as the half went on and created some of the better scoring chances. Just nothing really close to being on goal. Max Anchor wasn't forced to make any super tough saves. That bat out on the corner was maybe the toughest of the night. The shot off the foot of Tingy really went right into his hands. So we'll just have to see who can execute here the final third. Now for the Whitecaps, I mentioned it towards the end of last half, the Whitecaps need to do a better job of trying to break lines and to really connect the ball from the defense into the midfield into the attack. They've been able to possess amongst their back four. They haven't been able to break lines and play balls positively. That's where they're being dispossessed. Credit goes to Quakes 2 for getting into passing lanes, for making it tough, for having a good shape. This ball played in, out of bounds over the end line. But this will be a corner kick, so here early in the second half, a chance for Quakes 2 to get on the board. That'll be over here on the near side. Looks like Alex Chow stepping up to take the kick for Quakes 2. Couple players in the box. Chow's cross, near post, deflected away. Gets it back. Ball swung back in. Headed away. Strike bouncing around in the 18. Cleared away by Vancouver. A little bit of a scramble there just around the 18, edge of the 18. Nothing too dangerous though. Ball never got into Max Anchor's hands. The crowd in the box able to ultimately get it out by the Whitecaps. Now here the Earthquakes 2 maintain possession though amongst their back four. Now Quakes 2 has been doing a good job of possessing, but also getting the ball forward and looking for opportunities to play positively, to take advantage of spaces, and to break lines, whereas Whitecaps 2 has struggled a little bit with that piece. Now can they create the chance that will turn into a goal? That execution, the final third, the final pass, the final shot is the key. Ball played in some space here. Nice little one-touch pass, ball forward to Verhoeven. Cross on the ground, cleared out by Whitecaps 2. Quakes 2 able to get it under control. It's back in possession of the back line. San Jose was 64% of possession in that first half. It was reflected as the half went on. Can they also maintain possession while creating a scoring chance? Now the possession style is something that is a marquee of head coach Luchi Gonzalez on the first team. Something Quakes 2 coach DeGear told me is they do want to emulate that style as much as possible. Luchi ball is exemplified by really possessing. Here come the Quakes, edge of the 18. Ball sent out by Vancouver. Quakes coming back at it, shot just wide. A well-struck ball just goes outside the post for Quakes 2, but it was really well hit. So Quakes 2 once again possessing, not letting Vancouver get the ball out easily, and that one comes off the foot of Cam Seeley, who just sends a bullet in towards goal. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit off target. Get those hips around the ball a little bit centrally, and that could have been in the back of the net. It was really well struck from distance. Earthquakes 2 starting to knock on the door of a chance here in the second half. They've already created a corner kick, which led to a scramble in the box, and then a really well struck ball from outside the 18. Here comes Whitecaps 2. Well-timed tackle there. Vancouver maintains possession. Ball swung in. Whitecaps maintaining possession. A little shot deflects wide. It looked like the deflection could have sent that one in. It's always a tough situation for a goalkeeper. Emi Ochoa tries to read the ball coming off Vancouver's foot, but when it takes a deflection at the last minute, it looked like it maybe just got a piece of Sealy there. That can create just a little bit of misdirection to throw Ochoa off. That one went just wide, but it looked really dangerous coming at him. Now we do have a corner kick opportunity here for the Whitecaps. Still a 0-0 score here in the 50th minute. This one looks like it's going to be an in-swinger. That one cleared away. And sent all the way back. Anchor drills one forward, right around midfield. Whistle blows, that'll be a kick for San Jose. Good piece of possession once again. Verhoeven plays a ball up the right side. Well dispossessed though and well defended there by Campana. Whitecaps 2 trying to get it out of pressure. Attempting to make the turn here is Wathuda on the near side, but he just loses the handle out of bounds. Earthquakes throw in. Ione with tons of time, wasn't really marked tightly, gets it across. Inside the 18 now, well defended there as Carbajal tried to create. In the counterattack now, Whitecaps 2. Ball played forward by Habibullah. Another ball towards the end line. Cross goes over the end line. The counterattack, once again, tons of space for Whitecaps 2, but once they do get the ball and start to streak forward, it's the decision making and that last ball that's just got to be a little bit better. That one well over the end line, doesn't create any type of threat. Send that ball in across on the ground. Try to create a little bit of chaos in the box in a situation where you've got runners trying to crash potentially a numbers up advantage. Quakes with the ball in the corner. Cut back. Toronto is on it there in the corner. A little bit of ball movement. Shot on goal. Sent just over. It was some great ball movement and the last strike by Ione. The Earthquakes with some nice ball movement to create that opening just inside the 6. Jerry Ione with a clear look on goal. This is some nice ball movement. A little 1-2 touch passing back and forth. Ione did a good job of making that first touch away from the defender, but it just created a little bit of a tough angle for him to take that strike on goal because he was getting closer to the end line. This cross sent in towards the far post, headed away. That'll go safely out of bounds, but Earthquakes do get the throw. It looks like that will be the call. Ione, though, made a good run and took that first touch positively away from the defender. Unfortunately, just went a little bit too far towards the touchline. That's a hard angle to strike across from because you do have the goalie really trying to cut off the angle. Anchor all over the near post. They're able to make the save and get his hands on it. But it was some good 1-2 touch passing by the Quakes, looking to get in between defenders. Whitecaps 2 has to mark a little bit tighter. Speaking of, shot on goal, smothered by Anchor. things starting to heat up here at PayPal Park. The Earthquakes creating a couple of really dangerous chances here as this second half is worn on. That one, another great look on goal. The Earthquakes are doing a good job, 1-2 touch passing. They're getting into open spaces, finding those seams, connecting so well. Whitecaps 2 has to do a better job defending, staying tighter. They cannot let any of these Quakes 2 players have any space or get the ball at their feet inside the 18. And here we have a counterattack for Quakes 2. A slide tackle from behind. That is going to be a yellow. Giovanni Aguilar gets the booking for Whitecaps 2 after a slide tackle that did look like it came from behind the ball. Head referee Laura Rodriguez making a note in her book, having a quick conversation. Aguilar receives the yellow, second yellow of the match for Whitecaps 2. Now watch, David Serrano has the ball, and that slide tackle does come from the angle of behind the ball, and it made contact. Aguilar made contact with Serrano's feet. He tripped him up. That's going to be a yellow based on the positioning and the contact on the feet there, the slide tackle, all of those elements. Now the Earthquakes have another set piece. Can they put one in the mixer? The last couple of set pieces, they opted to take a shot on goal. This one too far out for the shot, but a little bit tougher because it's centrally in the pitch where you can't really send it across the goal. With a cross, you're gonna have to have a really light touch and chip this in. Ball is played in towards the edge of the 6, headed away. Whitecaps 2 able to get it upfield closer to the midfield line. It's called throw in for Quakes 2. So that was the right ball played on that kick by Quakes 2. You're far out, but you're in the middle of the pitch, so you've just got to play a really lightly weighted ball. Edge of the 6 towards that far post is a great spot to play it. You want to get a couple of bodies on it, try to crash that area. It just was one out the air by Whitecaps 2. But those are tough balls to play because you play it just a little bit too hard. The keeper could potentially run out, catch that one, swoop it up. It was well placed. We do have a couple of substitutions being made here. Into the match, Vasco Fry playing now in the midfield here for Whitecaps 2, and it also looks like another substitution, Glory Amanda making his way into the match. So a couple of changes here. Glory Amanda, you can see number 44 up top. The striker out of Edmonton, Alberta, signed an MLS Next Pro contract in 2023. He played 2 seasons in the Austrian Bundesliga. Also, he played 3 seasons at Oregon State, was a Mac Herman Trophy Award winner in 2020, which is awarded to the best player in the collegiate game. Led the NCAA in goals with 15. He's a player that I spoke with Coach Clark about, who he mentioned is certainly a threat. He's been really impressed with the way he came in. Super fit, super ready, adjusted really well to playing at this high level. Throw in here for Quakes 2, and we are back in play. Just a brief pause there as those couple of subs were being made. Earthquakes now with the possession in the back. But Gloria Amanda specifically is a player that Coach Clark for Whitecaps who talked with me about. He was dealing with a minor injury for a couple of weeks. He just has rejoined the team and started to get more action, so that's why you don't see him typically start the match, or he didn't start the match in this one or the last match because he's still recovering from injury. But Coach Clark described Amanda as a really strong number 9 who makes good decisions, can score, great technical ability, strength, and can play on both sides of the ball. A super hard worker. The Earthquakes will have to be careful to handle. And there, that one deflects back into the hands of Anchor, who's able to bat it away. This one goes out of bounds. Quake 2, a little bit of a strange sequence there. Whistle here as we do have a Whitecaps 2 player down, slowly getting up with a little bit of a limp in that back line. Brief pause just for an injury check. Good news, everyone appears to be okay and play will continue. Earthquakes 2 in possession, trying to play it up the right flank. Honestly, it was a good touch by Verhoeven to keep that one in. Whitecaps 2 now with a chance here in the counterattack. Good tackle there by Alejandro Cano there, defender, who also played for Quakes 2 last season as a member of the Quakes Academy. And he's another player with a birthday, turned 19 this week. Cano also has made 13 appearances for the El Salvador U20 team. Born out of Seaside, California, not too far from San Jose. And that one's going to be a clear foul here. Free kick for Whitecaps 2. That foul committed by Alex Chow for Quakes 2. Whitecaps now with the set piece. A potential chance here if they can send this one across the 18. Interesting. Emi Ochoa for the Quakes will just set up a one-man wall. So it's Cruz Medina standing out here about 10 yards out. Ball swung in towards the back of the 6, headed away. Whitecaps 2 looks to hold on. Another ball sent in by Vancouver, and it's headed towards goal, and it's in! The Vancouver Whitecaps on the board. It's a 1-0 lead in the 62nd minute. That ball headed in by Simone Massi. And here, that is a beautiful cross played in, not by Massi. It was Matteo Campana who delivered the deadly finish. Whitecaps 2 with that one moment, and sometimes that's all it takes to get on the board first. It's a 1-0 lead for Vancouver. Now we do have a couple of substitutions here for the Earthquakes. Eduardo Blancas stepping onto the pitch for Quakes 2. Also to be Rodolfo Castro Jr. Both making their first appearances of the match here. Frustrating position here for Quakes 2 as they have dominated possession, have had a couple of close chances here in the second half. But unfortunately, they're down a goal and now will need an equalizer here through the last 30 or so. This Whitecaps 2 side did a good job of pressuring there in the counterattack, creating that free kick opportunity. Able to reload and create that cross, which was really well played. And ultimately the header could be that play that decides this match. It's a 1-0 lead for Vancouver. Cross played back. Good piece of skill work here. Cruz working on this right flank. Verhoeven towards the touchline, swings it in. Ball's cleared away. Still in the defensive third though. Nice piece of skill there. Well done by Habibullah. Quakes 2 play it back in quickly. And we do have a player down there towards the farther side of the pitch, just outside the 18. Whitecaps 2 player on the ground. So whistle blows and play will briefly stop. Looks like they are going to make a substitution. This portion of the match is brought to you by PayPal, official naming rights and payment solutions partner. Now we do have a substitution being made for Vancouver Whitecaps 2. Looks like Amoni Thomas, the player who's limping off the field. Good news is he's walking off on his own accord after going down there just outside the 18. He is going to be replaced by Ba, number 57. Elijah Ba coming onto the pitch now for Vancouver. Ba is a player who prior to this started in 8 of the Whitecaps 2 matches. Just 18 years old, joined the Whitecaps Academy in 2020, signed an MLS Next Pro contract in 2022. He typically plays outside back, but he likes to really attack, and he's a really strong dribbler, according to his coach, Ricardo Clark. Nice flick forward, Quakes 2, trying to create something here in their attacking third. Ball played forward by Vancouver. Nice piece of skill, cut back, just chipped over the crossbar and over the end line. Goal kick for the Earthquakes 2. Whitecaps certainly look decisive as time has gone on in their counterattack opportunities, just going directly at defenders, trying to swing some dangerous balls into the box, looking to take some chances on goal. That's the area that their head coach Clark said that his team needs to capitalize on. He said defensively they play pretty zonal in different parts of the field. They try to find areas to engage pressure attacking. They want to be expansive. They want to use the flanks of the field. They want their wingers to stay pretty wide. And he encourages his players to really develop and try to exploit 1v1 situations, take advantage of their 1v1 matchups, and then really look to counterattack, make good runs off the ball, and take advantage of those numbers up situations. Well, Vancouver Whitecaps 2 have done exactly that with the 1-0 lead here. With the goal. Quakes 2, swinging the ball forward. Feeling a little bit of the momentum shifting here. Whitecaps 2 starting to create a little bit better opportunities and a little bit better possession. That's going to be a hard challenge in the middle of the pitch. Free kick for San Jose. They'll play it in quickly, just a short little touch there, and it's back in play. Castro Jr. on the ball. He'll send it wide. Medina. Short ball, shot just wide. Good look for the San Jose Earthquakes, and it will be a goal kick, or a corner kick rather, as there was a touch. Earthquakes continue to take advantage of short passes and tight spaces in the box. That's a good switch there by Castro Jr. A little bit of space by Medina, and then Roberto Hadigan now in the match. And we have a goal! The San Jose Earthquakes equalize. There was another couple of whistles on the field, and Earthquakes players are up in arms. It's unclear if that was in fact a goal. There is some confusion here on the field momentarily, as our officials are having a quick discussion about what the call is. It's going to be no goal. It was called offside, so that will be a kick for Whitecaps 2. An unfortunate break for Quakes 2, as their goal is called back as offsides. San Jose Earthquakes continuing to knock on the door, so close to equalizing. Well off the line here is Anchor. He sends that one clear out of bounds. Quakes 2 just knocking on the door, looking for that equalizer. Almost had it there in about the 67th minute. Medina working on the right flank. He looks for the deflection for a corner. Our officials do signal it's going to be an Earthquakes corner kick. Roberto Hadigan over on the ball there. Subbed into the match here in the second half. Hadigan scored his first goal of the season against Austin FC 2. Ball headed away. Hadigan. Ball time slide tackle, ball still inside the 18. Counterattack opportunity, it's really a 2v1, only defender back, and it is well played. Jerry Ione, the only defender there, as Whitecaps 2 had a massive chance with a numbers up situation. Really well executed. This San Jose Earthquakes team, tough to score on, and that's exactly why. So many players on this team with a high defensive work rate, smart in their tackles. And we do have a card being issued on the field, but now we'll take another look at this cross that was played in. And we do have a yellow card, but yellow card issued on number 63, which is Oscar Verhoeven for the Earthquakes. Couple of yellow cards in this match. There's been some tough competition. Some of the Earthquakes calling for a handball there. Whitecaps 2 maintain possession. Caps coming down the right flank. Vancouver starting to settle in, get some possession here. The middle third, attacking third of the pitch. Earthquakes forcing them back. Medina running on to challenge Anchor. Medina getting close. Anchor sails this one towards midfield. Couple of bodies challenging for it. Last hit off the Earthquake, so it will be a throw-in for Whitecaps 2. Throw-in on that far side. Looking to create here. Hopping there a little bit is Cam Seeley. Cam Seeley down there just out of bounds on that far side. One of the key pieces of this back line for the Earthquakes. It does look like he's going to walk back onto the pitch though. Quakes maintain possession here out of their defensive third. Unbelievable turn of events here in the second half. Earthquakes creating a number of chances, but it's Vancouver Whitecaps 2 who get on the end of one first. Tough challenge there on the far side. Ball goes over the end line. Quakes almost with the equalizer, the last one called offside. So here we have another opportunity on a corner kick. Eduardo Blancas standing over the ball for San Jose. Blancas cross sent in. Headed out. Cleared out. San Jose still running it down. Little mistouch there by Castro Jr. Another possible opportunity, but we do have a hard collision here on the near side of the pitch. Our official Laura Rodriguez running over to issue another yellow card. This one delivered to Christian Greco-Taylor on the Whitecaps 2 side. 18-year-old, was member of the Vancouver Whitecaps 2 Academy, joined in 2019. So yeah, that slide tackle just takes out the Earthquakes' feet. Clear contact with the feet, missed the ball, also a little bit behind the ball. So Rodriguez, not having any of it, immediately blew the whistle and ran over to issue the card. Now we have free kick for Quakes 2. Can they send another dangerous ball into the box? It's going to be Blancas, it looks like, standing over this one once again. Cross sent in, well into the 18, headed away. Second ball, headed back in the mix, cleared out. Down to the ground, it's another foul after Ione goes down in a hard challenge, Earthquakes kick. A couple of tough challenges here in the midfield. Certainly been a physical contest here at PayPal Park. Earthquakes looking to get into the attacking third. Verhoeven blocked. Looked like the ball kind of curled out of bounds before bouncing, so that will be called a throw-in. This match is hydrated by Body Armor, the official sports drink of the San Jose Earthquakes. The Earthquakes now here in the right corner, trying to earn a corner, possibly. Well defended there by Whitecaps 2. Quakes getting forward. Seeley up into the attack. Tried to play a ball off, but once again defended well. Whitecaps 2 doing well to handle the pressure. That ball will go off the leg of Habibullah. It's a throw-in for the Earthquakes. We'll touch to the corner. Sliding tackle sends out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for the Quakes. Blancas plays a short corner. Blancas gets it back, sends it in one time, headed away again. Lots of white shirts in the box, not a lot of Earthquakes 2 players. They get it back though. Shot fired towards what looked like was the far post, but it's deflected out of bounds. It'll be another corner kick for San Jose. Earthquakes with quite a few corners. And that last short corner, Blancas sent it into a pretty good area around the middle of the 6, but there were all white shirts. Not a lot of Earthquakes players there crashing. I try to put more bodies in the mix. You even look right now, you see, well, they do play, looks like zonal in terms of Whitecaps 2. They're just trying to protect that area right around the 6 where typically the ball would be delivered. Earthquakes are going to make a substitution. Martin Wende Jr. entering the match now for Cruz Medina, who will retire for the evening. Wende Jr. scored 1 goal on the season. Sent towards the far post, and that one's headed out of bounds. Once again, it's going to be an Earthquakes corner kick. Another chance for San Jose. Wende Jr., by the way, is a San Jose native. Playing as a member of the Quakes Academy, a young player, just 17 years old, is committed to play at Santa Clara University just up the road. Another corner kick opportunity. Blancas, crosses sent in, curled towards the back post, headed out of bounds over the end line once again. This time it will be a goal kick for Whitecaps FC2. Big chance here. Earthquakes have got to try to do something to get the equalizer. We're approaching the 79th, heading into the 80th minute. We'll see how much stoppage time is adding on, but time is ticking down for the Quakes to try to create that goal-scoring chance. Ball played all the way back to Ochoa. Quakes working it up the right flank. Good idea on the flick. They'll maintain possession. Blancas switches fields. Good vision. Fortunately, not quite the execution there on that one-touch pass. Well off his line is Ochoa. Ochoa picks the ball up after it goes out of bounds and just tosses it into a seat in an attempt to delay the game. He will receive a yellow card for exactly that. It was a massive opportunity for Whitecaps too. Emi Ochoa, goalkeeper, comes well off his line to shut down that breakaway, and then you see him just toss it into the stands to prevent Whitecaps 2 from throwing the ball in quickly and catching Quakes 2 off guard. He wanted to give his team time to get numbers behind the ball, so he just tossed it right over into some of the empty seats here pitch side at PayPal Park. You will receive a yellow for that, but maybe not a bad decision. Once again, when you have a breakaway chance, your team is stretched and out of position. He wanted to give his teammates time to get numbers behind the ball. Don't see that every day. But interesting thinking there by Emi Ochoa between the pipes for Quakes 2. Shot on goal, and it's off the post! What a shot! Earthquakes continue knocking on the door here as we approach the 81st minute. Whistle blows, and we do have another yellow card issued. A number of unhappy players here around midfield, and our official Rodriguez delivering the yellow. Here we just have, once again, nice ball movement. Cutting middle here is Hadigan. He sees the opportunity. That's a great ball. Just well struck. Curls it towards that back post. Unfortunately, soccer is a game of inches, and it just pinged off that crossbar. But it was well struck. He cut middle, and he's a player who can strike from distance. Hadigan, take that chance, especially in the 80th, 81st minute. When your team is down a goal, why not give it a go? Love the aggressiveness. Love the confidence from Hadigan. Can the Earthquakes now get one just to fall a couple inches lower inside the net to equalize? Now that last yellow card on Antoine Coupland for the Vancouver Whitecaps 2 side, the midfielder out of Chelsea, Quebec, was issued the booking. He subbed on here in the second half. Header right into the feet of Habibullah. Here's a great chance for Whitecaps 2, and it's saved. Second chance saved. My goodness. Earthquakes 2 come up with a pair of massive stops. Just that header goes straight into the feet of Cameron Habibullah. He plays a beautiful ball for Gondo to run onto. It's a great save made by Emi Ochoa. Times it well, comes off his line, smothers that ball. And the Quakes defense in the right position, exactly where you want to be to try to deflect that shot while your keeper is out. Great positioning by the Earthquakes defense to ward off that really dangerous chance for the Whitecaps 2 side. This game has just gotten more and more exciting as time has gone on. 83rd minute now, and we've had a couple of really great scoring opportunities here in the second half for both teams. That one of the best we've seen for Whitecaps 2. They are a team that is so dangerous, as we've seen throughout this match in the counterattack. That was another perfect example of that skill. This is a team that can get numbers forward, take advantage, and really exploit when their opponent is out of position and dispossesses. And loses possession, rather. Whitecaps 2 holding it in the corner, looking to pull some time off the clock. This one will go out over the end line. Goal kick for Quakes 2. Time running out. Depending on how much stoppage time remains, potentially less than 10 minutes of action and less than 10 minutes of time for the Quakes 2 to get the equalizer. It has been a fun match to watch so far here at PayPal Park in beautiful San Jose on a clear night in the South Bay. Quakes have had some nice ball movement, some really close chances. A goal called back just hasn't quite been able to get that one in net. And here we have another great chance. Little ball played forward, saved by Ochoa. Oh, what a save by the Earthquakes goalkeeper. Emi Ochoa coming up huge here down the stretch for his team. Once again, it was Gando who had that opening on the left side of the box. Instead of taking the chance himself this time, he slid a really cheeky, nicely played ball on the ground across the box. That's exactly what you want to do. The tackle is missed by Alejandro Cano. Gando plays a beautiful ball across the box, and Emi Ochoa does a great job of coming out and cutting down that angle, getting big, and then reacting with not a lot of time to deflect that ball and stop that one from going in the net. And it looks like throw-in is going to go to Whitecaps too, and we may have a substitution here. This portion of the match is brought to you by Dropbox, official partner of the San Jose Earthquakes. And it is going to be a throw-in here on the low block for the Whitecaps. Mihail Gerashimenkov coming on the pitch now for Vancouver. That ball sailed well out of bounds. Greco-Taylor retires for the evening. Christian Greco-Taylor, that is, out of Calgary, Alberta, who got the start in today's match. Gerashimenkov, a player who's also earned quite a few starts, started 6 matches of the 7 he's played in for this Vancouver side. Family moved to Calgary in 2016, but he was born in Moldova and has gotten some time, or has gotten some looks from the Moldova national team, played with the youth national team for his country. He also was chosen for the inaugural MLS Next Pro All-Star Game in 2022. Gerashimenkov was. He signed an MLS Next Pro contract once again in 2023 to return for the Whitecaps 2 side. This portion of the match is brought to you by Dropbox, official partner of the San Jose Earthquakes. Quick whistle here, and it will be an Earthquakes kick. Once again, time running out for Quakes 2 to try to create some late game magic, equalize this match. Just an unfortunate situation to be in, something I talked with head coach Dan DeGeer about with this Quakes 2 side. They have not won a match here at PayPal Park since their opener. However, DeGeer said he feels like his team has played really well at PayPal. They've put together some strong performances. They just haven't been able to get the result. That's the exact story here today, where the Earthquakes have had really some strong run of play, created some good chances, nice possession. Just short of the result at this point in time. Still a couple minutes on the clock though. Time for the Quakes to get the equalizer and come away with the point or possibly 2. Looking for the run was Verhoeven, but it was well intercepted. Counterattack here. Numbers up, 3-on-2 situation for Whitecaps 2. Well defended by the Quakes. Gando on the left side of the box once again. Gando, Verhoeven, 1v1 battle. Verhoeven holds him off well. Gando will retreat towards the corner just to try to burn some time off the clock. It goes over the end line. Goal kick for Quakes 2. They'll play it in quickly on the ground. San Jose trying to get the ball up the pitch quickly here, 89th minute. Possibly a few minutes of stoppage time, but not a ton of major stoppages here in the second half. That one's a foul. It'll be a free kick for the Caps. Aguilar stands over it, then walks away. This one swung towards the left side, headed away by Verhoeven. Big ball sent forward. Whitecaps 2 just looking to tick a little bit of time off the clock. Couple minutes away from securing 3 points on the road, and a massive 3 points on the road at that. Huge opportunity here, and that one's over the crossbar. A lot of transition opportunities being created here by Vancouver. This one cut middle. It's a shot from far out, but it is pretty well struck. And about 4 minutes of stoppage time will be added, so Quakes 2 with just a little bit of time. Verhoeven looking to do something cheeky, but dispossesses Blancas. Once again, looking for the counterattack. Numbers advantage for the Caps. Well intercepted and well held off there by Edwin Mendoza. Caps still with the ball. Now getting it down to that far corner where they will try to hold on for the last couple of moments. Just about 3 remaining here at PayPal Park. Time running out here for the Quakes. Looking for something special here. The final couple minutes. We're in stoppage time now officially. Here come Caps 2. Ball struck well off the hands of Ochoa. Still in play. Another one, chip just over the crossbar. Another chance, that one delivered by Habibullah. A lot of counterattack opportunities being created here down the stretch. Habibullah on the ball, cuts middle, strikes it well from distance. Ochoa couldn't hold on to it. Habibullah hits that one with the inside of his foot, just leans a little bit too far back, gets too far under the ball, sends it over, and he had that point-blank shot from a good range. Just under 2 minutes remaining here at PayPal Park. Earthquakes put together a strong performance, but down a goal, need an equalizer. Whitecaps 2 looking to try to secure a massive 3 points on the road. Just have to hold off Quakes 2 for another couple minutes. Here we go on the counterattack. Now, Vancouver's had a lot of counterattack opportunities, especially here through the last 10-15 minutes, because the Earthquakes are putting a lot of numbers forward, trying to get that equalizing goal. So here we go. Ball played in. Ball worked down the right flank by Vancouver. Well defended by Quakes 2, but time is running out quickly. Ochoa. Ochoa boots it forward. Headed back the other direction. foul is called there around midfield. It's going to be a free kick for the Quakes. Once again, time not on their side. Got to get the ball back in play quickly. Ochoa up to take the kick. Quakes 2 will throw all 10 numbers, all 10 field players up into the box. This potentially a last chance for Quakes 2. Ochoa sends it up. Ball played into the mix. Headed away. Second ball headed away. Chance on goal, and it's just wide. Quakes 2 with the chance for a possible equalizer in stoppage time. Ball's well played into the mix, exactly where you want it. And then on the half volley, it's a well-struck ball. He hit it cleanly with his laces. Well done, unfortunately just wide. Quakes 2 so close to a special, special moment. Unfortunately, just coming up short though is Quakes 2. That is the final whistle. The Vancouver Whitecaps 2 come out on top with the 1-0 victory on the road at PayPal Park. And tonight's man of the match is Mateo Campagna for Whitecaps 2. Tonight's man of the match, Mateo Campagna for Vancouver Whitecaps 2, is presented by Adidas. We want to take another look at the greatness that was Campagna, putting this one in the back of the net. A well-placed header. Quakes 2 just not marking tight enough. He didn't have to challenge anyone. And Campagna comes through huge for his team. Whitecaps 2 comes up huge with a 1-0 victory. A tough game for Quakes 2 as they held a majority of possession, but unfortunately it was Whitecaps 2 who came up with a massive moment, a strong, gritty performance for the Vancouver side on the road. Whitecaps 2 improves to 6-3-1 on the season. Earthquakes 2 falls to 4-4-1. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Kylan Mills saying so long from beautiful San Jose, California. Once again, your final score, 1-0, Whitecaps FC2 comes out on top. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. We'll see you next time.
This copyrighted broadcast of MLS Next Pro may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.